Hey bros, this video is all about Valkyrie rework, an in-depth look into the rework. Now, I'm saying in-depth, but I'm actually not going to talk about movement speed on the attacks because, well, it's kind of annoying to make. I'm actually just going to talk about all the punishes changes, all her moves changes, and all the damage oh, you get it. If you want me to make one for Varden, I can make one, but I really don't think it's necessary. Now she can combine any type of lights and heavies into a free chain moveset. Which gives her a lot of freedom. Now the damages are always the same to the heavies and the lights in their correspondent time on the chain. So these are the lights. So they always deal the same damage on this order. So the first light will always deal that damage, the second light will always deal that damage, and the third light will always deal that damage. Let me show you right now. So you see right there, the second light did the same damage. The third light did the same damage, so it's always the same damage, no matter the side. And as you saw right there, these are the heavies. They will always deal this damage, so it's always the first one 24, the second 28, and the third 32. Which means that if the enemy is critical health, and you do a heavy, they will be left with 1 HP. Which is kinda dumb. Her throw no longer guarantees spear sweep. You can still do the spear sweep, which is by doing guard break. And it's not guaranteed, but it is guaranteed if you throw them into a wall and they wall splat. So the wall splat, and now spear sweep is guaranteed. This is her max punish off guard break. You can still do a heavy, no matter the side. But if will only deal 24 damage, the best you can do is throw them into a wall. I'll mess that up. Throw them into a wall, spear sweep, and then do a heavy. Her last light now has a change, which makes them throw the opponent, and they can then wall splat. If they're too close to the wall, they'll recover fast enough for you to miss the heavy. But if they're far away, you can get a heavy off of it. So if they're too close, you'll get a light. If they're far enough, you'll get a heavy off of this wall splat. And it's actually a very big throw. And this will also deal 100 stamina damage and stun the opponent, daze the opponent. Now let's go to her new moves list. So now she can no longer do shield crush, which is this move, after a heavy or after shoulder pin, and you can no longer spear sweep after a shield crush. So you can no longer do this and then spear sweep. You'll go for a guard break instead. So the big change to this is that you can only make it as the soft twin from a heavy. After it, you can chain it into anything. You can chain it into a light, or into a heavy, or into a heavy into another shield crush, or in a heavy feint into guard break, or into neutral. You don't do anything, which makes this the best opener in the entire game. I don't think people understand how great this opener is. It's literally the best opener in the game because it gives no direct punish to the opponent if they dodge it. So if you hit it, you get a guaranteed light for 13 damage, and it is this light. It's the second light in the chains. So basically, the shield crush works as the first attack on the free attack chain. The light or the heavy that you follow after the shield crush is the second move in the chain, and then the move afterwards is the finisher. So after the follow-up from the shield crush, you then get either a sweep or a light or a heavy as the chain finisher. I think I didn't tell you, but spear sweep now works as a chain finisher, so you do it instead of a light or a heavy of your last attack. Forgot to mention it. So basically, if the opponent dodges your shield crush, they'll probably try to go for a guard break. And if they try to go for a guard break, you can do a light, which will interrupt the guard break, and they'll get hit, and then you continue your chain. Now, if they're smart enough, they'll wait for you to do something and try to parry your light. That's when you do the heavy, because that will mess up their timing, and so they'll get hit by the heavy because they think they're going to parry their light. Now, if they're even smarter, they'll know the difference between they'll know the difference between the two animations. So you see this animation, that's for the light, and you see this animation, this is for the heavy. So she actually makes a big swing before to charge that heavy, and then she actually swings instead of just thrusting. So if it's a good opponent, they'll know that you can just go for a heavy afterwards, and so they'll either parry your light or your heavy. That's when you go and do another shield crush. There you go. Now the opponent gets hit by a shield crush. But what if they are amazing and also want to go dodge that shield crush? Well, you can just do feint into guard break, because they'll, well, if they see the heavy and they might think you are going for the shield crush, then you feint and do a guard break. Now, what if they are the best player in the game? Well, you just go into neutral, and it's like nothing happened if they dodge it. So this makes this the best opener in the game because it's a chain starter and it gives no direct punish to the Valkyrie. The thing is, all the things that I stated before are all about predictions. The opponent and you yourself cannot react to any of this. It's like Nobushi's kick. It all comes out to prediction, because if both parties wait too long, then you'll just go into neutral and nobody gets any punish out of anything. So this is the big change to Shield Crush. It now makes it the best opener in the game because there's no direct punish to it. Now let's go into the Shield Tackle. So now from cancelling into this, you cannot dodge. I'm trying to dodge and it doesn't work because you need to feint it like you feint a heavy. So you feint it and now you can dodge. So now Shield Tackle basically works like Shield Crush, where if you manage to hit the opponent, you'll get a light. Doesn't matter how long you hold it, they'll never get unbalanced. And also, you don't have all guard when you let go of the guard break and you do the Shield Tackle, so you can be interrupted while doing it. And also, if the enemy dodges it, they'll get a guaranteed guard break. So this move is pretty punishable. You can also do the same thing you did before, where you cancel it by dodging forward and then doing a guard break. It's just a little different now because you need to feint it. So you can still do this. This can trick the opponent. Now, if you hold it and then let go instantly, she'll actually take a step forward. But if you hold it a little bit too long and you feint it, she'll stand still. So one thing I recommend is go into it and then let go. She'll take a step forward and then dodge and then do a guard break. This will kind of look like you're going for the Shield Tackle, which might trick the opponent into dodging, which will give you the guard break. Now, if you're on the other end and the Valkyrie does this, the difference is, like this, she doesn't glow orange, and like this, she glows orange. So that's how you can tell. Now let's go into parrying, and deflecting is a little bit different. So if you parry a heavy, you still get a light for 15 damage, and a dash or a dashing light. Now the side dash light is not guaranteed if you parry a heavy. If you parry a light, you get a heavy for 24 damage. Now it's going to deflecting, so you can still get a guard break for 24 damage, or you can throw him into a ledge, or throw him into a wall, spear sweep. You can also go for shoulder pin, that it doesn't guarantee anything else. This is a change that happened. So the shoulder pin deals the same damage as spear sweep. It both deal 35 damage, but shoulder pin does 20 direct damage and then 15 bleed damage, split into groups of 3 damage, 5 groups of 3 damage. So over time she will take 3 damage until it deals a total of 15. Now shoulder pin is basically a chain starter, so after it nothing is guaranteed. It's basically if you just did a light or a heavy. So now you can keep pressure, so that's the best defect she has. After shoulder pin, you can keep pressure on the opponent. If you just throw them into the wall and do spear sweep, yes, you get the damage instantly, but there's really no way to keep pressure because you both go into neutral after the spear sweep. So that's the big change to deflecting. Now let's go into parrying and deflecting an opponent when you're in revenge or they're out of stamina. The max punish is a dash forward, light, heavy, spear sweep into the heavy of the spear sweep. If you have revenge without stats, this will deal 106 damage. If you don't have revenge, this will deal 80 damage. If you throw them, same thing. No matter how you throw them. Now if you want, you can also do this. Come closer, you're too close to the wall. So if you parry, you can go into 2 heavies. Now nothing after it is guaranteed. So you can go for 2 heavies if you throw them or parry them. And after the 2 heavies, you can go into spear sweep, you can go into light, you can go into another heavy that you can feint into a guard break, or you can go into another heavy that you soft feint into shield crush, do a light, and then do whatever the fuck. Basically, this other punish is just to keep pressure on the opponent. Because if you do the other one, you finish with a leg sweep into the heavy after the leg sweep, and then you can keep pressure on the opponent. So what you probably want to do is do 2 heavies, and then keep pressure on the opponent. Basically, you can see right here. Now it doesn't matter which side the heavy comes from either. Basically, if you're surrounded by enemies, you might want to throw a side heavy. You might want to throw side heavies because it will hit the other opponents too. But if you're surrounded by teammates, you don't want to go for side heavies because you might hit your teammates. So basically, it all comes down to the situation. It doesn't matter which side the heavies come from. As you see right here, it really doesn't matter. It will get hit anyway, and it will do the same damage. So if you deflect as well, if you want me to make one for Warden, I could, but I really don't think it's necessary. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any questions you might want to ask about Valkyrie or Warden reworks, leave them on the comments. And I hope to see you on the next one. See you guys.